Assume you are a mobile phone researcher and you want to know how similar your mobile phones are to each other. In order for you to create a perceptual map, you will need the help of SPSS. Now, you have 6 brands, namely brand A, brand B, brand C, D, E, and F. To create an identity matrix between these variables, you have to list these brands horizontally and vertically. Now, you have to ask the respondents how unique or how similar your mobile phones are to each other. For example, brand A, brand B, brand A from brand B, brand B from brand C, brand C from D, and so on. Which means all of these brands will be compared to each other in different parameters. Well, these parameters could be anything. It can be based on durability, price, performance, screen resolution. It is based on the perspective of your respondents. You have to get their perceptions on the similarities of those brands and input them into this table. Now, this table shows that what is the ranks of the similarities of different brands in accordance to performance, durability, or screen resolution. This table shows that brand A and brand E is considered to be the most similar because rank 1 is given to it. Next to it is brand B and brand F, which is rank 2. In this case, the rank 15 is given to brand C and brand F, which means that they are considered to be the least similar to each other. As a mobile phone researcher, similarities on phones is actually a disadvantage or is actually negative because you want to develop those mobile phones as unique to each other. Okay, now you have this data and all you have to do is to input them into the SPSS file. Okay, but first of that, you have to define certain variables. Now you have the brand names, brand A, brand B, C, D, and F. They are considered different to each other, so they are in strings, and they are also considered as nominal. These variables doesn't have a weight, and they were also based on a ranking scale, so the measures on these 6 different brands are on an ordinal scale. Okay. Oh, another thing. The reason there are zeros in this table is because this is an identity matrix, meaning brand A is considered to be the most similar to brand A, and it will entitle the rank 0. Same as to brand A to brand A, brand B to brand B, C to C, D to D, E to E, and F to F. Now, you have the raw data, and all you have to do is copy this whole table into the SPSS save file. Now, you have these 6 brands, namely brand A, B, C, D, and F. And you have these values, which are typically ranks. Now, in order for you to plot an MDS table, you have to click Analyze and then Scale. As you can see, you have 3 options available, namely PrepScale, ProcScale, and AlScale. Proxial scaling will be used if the data shown shows similarities on a lower triangular form, Whereas, if you want to know the similarities or differences between variables on an upper triangular form, you will select AltScal. In our assumption, we will select ProxCal because we want to know the similarities between our phone brands. Now, the data format for the multidimensional scanning will be used. All you have to do is to check that the data are proximities on a one matrix source. Then, you will copy these 6 brands into the proximities column since they varies no weight and they are also based on a ranking scale. Next, you will check the model. As you can see, you have in the shape, you will see that the figure is a lower triangular matrix since these variables were based on similarities. But if your variables were shown in an upper triangular form, it just means that the variables were based on differences or dissimilarities. In our case, we will select that this figure is based on a lower triangular matrix. For the proximities, it is actually similarity, so we will change this one, and they were based on an ordinal scale since they were in ranks. For the restriction column, there is no restriction, so nothing to be changed here. For the options, you can see that there is a fixed amount of stress, so you can just, for the plots, all you have to do is to check if it is in common space. And for the output, you have to follow this format and you have to check that the variables are on a common space coordinates with multiple stress measures. Okay? Now, this is your perceptual map regarding the observations or the results of the data you gathered. The datas or the brand names were based on a set points. They were based on set points on different dimensions. This figure shows that the similarities of these brands is based on how near these variables are to each other, which means brand F and brand C is considered to be the most similar among all of the brands. Brand B is considered to be the least similar compared to all the brands because it is really far compared to the distance of different brands. Brand C and brand E is less similar compared to the similarity of brand C and brand F. All in all, in this figure, if the two variables were quite near to each other,